Hey B-Buds, I'm back, and today we're going to be checking out the number 3 doll from the Barbie Extra line. Now this is a delayed review. I know that, you know that, let's just get past it, okay? I wanted to take some extra time to offer something different with my opening because there are so many different reviews out there, so why not take that time to be extra? Wait, that's backwards. Extra. Nailed it. So, as mentioned, we're going to be checking out Barbie today from the Barbie Extra line, and these came out at the end of 2020 with a price tag of $40 Canadian per doll and probably between $26 to $30 if you lived in the States. Now, I'm going to assume that pricing has changed since time has passed, so if you're interested in picking this doll up for yourself, just shop around for the best deal and availability depending on where you live. Now, as I hinted at just a moment ago, I do have something special planned for this video, and it is a craft. But before we can get to that, we will need to check out the package and open it. This is what the front of the package looks like, and as you can see, it says Barbie Extra, and we've got a little glitter-filled sticker that looks like a gummy bear, the Barbie Extra logo, and a picture of Barbie down in the corner. The rest of the packaging is clear, so we can see everything that's going to come inside, and we have a nice colorful background. The sides of the box both say Barbie Extra. One side is pink and has a picture of Barbie, and the opposite is green with a little gummy bear and a pig. Then on the back of the box, we see the picture of Barbie, the cute little pig, and all the accessories we're gonna get, as well as 2 images of Barbie's friends, who were also available in this first released set. However, more dolls have been added since then. And that's it for the packaging, so let's open. I was gonna say that this should have been really simple to open because we have a perforated area on the back of the cardboard here, but unfortunately, it appears as though it is for show only. So I'm just gonna hack away at it with my trusty scissors and hope that it doesn't destroy everything because I did want to reuse some of this. Ta-da! Oh, hold on, that didn't work out as planned. Ta-da! Oh man, it's glued too? Dang it. Okay, it's not open at all. Be right back. So here is Barbie. She's still attached to the box, and unfortunately, it seems as though the perforated area on the back was only to give us access to the back of the first piece of cardboard because there are 2 there, and this is where we would ungibber our Barbie from her confinements. But since I wanted to keep some of the artwork on the back and not destroy it, my plan is to carefully remove everything from the front. Okay, part 1 successful. Let's continue on. Her hair is sewn to the plastic, so let's just cut those. And a stretchy piece of rubbery whatever. And we've got some gibbers attaching her scalp. Okay, so here is Barbie. She is free, and I have chosen to display her on another doll stand so we get the full effect of what she looks like straight from the package. But before I do, I just wanted to quickly show you that Barbie is currently attached to her furry pink jacket by the hair, and that is attached to her pants. So we'll be snipping these apart so that we can check everything out in better detail, starting with her accessories. And those would be her black plastic glasses, and it looks as though the lenses are framed in white pearls. So let's just put them on her so we can see what she looks like. Pretty styling, huh? I don't know what this look is, but I'm digging it. Next up, we have these 2 items that are still inside their plastic packaging, so let's pop them out. Oh, let's throw them out. First up, we have a small yellow packaged candy that says sweet on the front and has a little zipper in the back. And this is meant to be Barbie's little clutch, but unfortunately there is no area for her to actually hold on to. So at some point I plan to add a chain. That way she could wear it as a longer purse. Next up, we have Barbie's pet, which is a sleeping pig. It's all pink with cute little hooves or feet on the bottom. We've got 2 ears, a little snout, a little mouth, closed painted eyes with little lashes, and of course a cute little curly pigtail in the back. And for accessories, this little piglet comes with a headband with a little unicorn horn and rosettes across the forehead, and they are teal, pink, and purple. And this just sits on top of the piglet's head and wraps around the table and wraps around the piglet's ears. It's falling. It's very easy to put on, but even easier to fall off. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It will also come with... Where'd it go? It also comes with a cute pair of wings, and these just hook onto the piglet's back, almost like a headband. And lastly, we have a cloud base to sit on, because every little piggy angel unicorn needs a cloud. Ta-da! so great. And I know you weren't able to tell from this video footage because I am oh so flawless in my execution, but sadly this little accessory here does indeed fall off pretty easily. So if you ever wonder what happened to yours, check the floor. It seems a bit fiddly. It might fall. But other than that, it's really adorable. And because the wings come attached to a band, sort of like a headband, I kind of want to try them on Barbie and see if she looks like a Valkyrie. But for now, they can stay on the little piglet and we will check out Barbie. But before I go changing anything, let's just check out what Barbie comes with as is. And if we take off her glasses, we can see she's got bright blue eyes and a pale lip color with just the slightest amount of blushing on her cheeks. And although everything here is pixeled and printed, she looks wonderful. Like, I'm not finding any defects, and the way her hair is framing her face, she just looks adorable. In fact, I'll zoom back out so you can see. It's long and blonde with pink streaks in it, and it's crimped. It's super, super cute. And it just reminds me of the 90s. It's pretty nicely rooted. I'm sort of messing it up right now as I separate it all, so oh no, I'm messing it up a lot actually. Let's just ignore that. In fact, let's just turn it back around. As I was saying, it's long and blonde with pink streaks and crimps. Nothing went wrong here at all. And in the front, she's got some cute little buttons, which are tied off and lead into two super long crimpy bangs that hang alongside her cheeks. And then behind each bun, she's also got a white rectangular barrette, and I'm pretty sure we can remove those. Flawless execution. And lastly, she does come with a bunch of extra accessories in the form of jewelry, which includes these large silver hoop earrings that she's wearing, and they are on both sides, even though her furry jacket would have you believe otherwise. Okay, so this jacket is super in the way. Actually, it's hiding the next accessory, which is on her left hand. It's a blue gummy bear ring, and it does go across all 4 fingers because it's pretty huge. And finally, she comes wearing an assortment of necklaces, which includes a grayish silver chain link collar, a star necklace, and a super long shiny silver one that says Barbie. Now I'm going to quickly undress the doll so we can check her articulation and take a quick peek at the clothing she comes with. Wait, what? Why does she have cardboard in her leg? That's weird. Okay, so I have taken off her jacket, pants, boots, and ring, and now you can see that she is in fact wearing a silver bodysuit, as well as all of her points of articulation. So before I move on, I'm going to quickly show you what those are, which would include her head, shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, and her knees. And here are her jeans. I say that very loosely because it's just like a plasticky feeling material. They are pretty nicely made though. They open at the back with one piece of Velcro and everything inside is stitched really nicely. Next we have that super shaggy jacket. It's very soft and plush and quite a bit of the fur is falling off, but I'm gonna treat this just like I would any other doll. It's got hair, so it needs to settle. Anything that's meant to fall off will. Inside everything looks pretty good. It's basically a very stiff pink fabric, which sounds very crunchy if you were to do that, but otherwise it's like a giant pink monster. Here is the silver bodysuit. It's very reflective and metallic. It's got one piece of Velcro on the back where it opens, and inside everything is stitched together really nicely. Here are the 3 necklaces and her gummy bear ring. And lastly, we've got her boots, and they're just white with wings. There we go. That's it. Time to dress her back up. Now we're done with Barbie, which means we can move on to crafting. And the first one is going to be super simple. In fact, I don't even have very many materials on the table, so that should give you some hope that this is not going to go super, super wrong or be extra difficult. Extra. The first thing I have here is a piece of ribbon, and this is from an old hair bow we have. It's pink with unicorns and rainbows. Then I've got a thin piece of ribbon that's got a knot in the center, and this just happens to be from that same old bow. And lastly, I have a needle and thread, and the color complements my ribbons. But if you're not comfortable using a needle and thread, you could totally pull this off with some hot glue instead. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is use whatever method you prefer to prevent the ribbon from continuing to pull and fray. I'm personally just going to use some fabric glue, and we're also just going to pretend that I've already done that because I forgot to prep it. Wow, it's already ready! You can't see anything wrong! Next step is just going to be to scrunch up the center, and I know there's an actual method to how many folds you should do here, but I'm just going to do what I like, which is 4 apparently. At this point you can add a bit of hot glue if you wanted, or you can pop a few stitches in the center, just enough to hold the shape so you don't lose it. Just like that. Next we're going to take our thinner piece of ribbon with the knot in the center and place it into the middle of our bow. Then with the needle and thread, we'll go right through the middle of everything, from the back to the front, and once more from the front to the back. Lastly, we'll take the 2 longer pieces of ribbon and wrap them around to the back to determine how long we need them to be. Then you can trim off the excess and overlap them so that we can stitch everything in place. And because we used a similar thread color to the ribbon, it shouldn't be noticeable. And technically at this point, your bow is done. Now you just need to decide how you want your doll to wear it. You can stitch it onto a super small scrunchie, or sew it around an old doll headband, making sure to go back through the ribbon a few times before snipping so that nothing comes undone. I don't really want to add it to an old doll headband or scrunchie right now. Instead, I'm going to be using one of the clear rubber bands that came with the doll. I'm going to fold it in half, placing it behind the bow, making sure that there's a bit of overhang on each side, then stretch one side up and over the other, pulling through and twisting around to the back. And just like that, we have a completed hair bow, and I didn't have to commit to anything that I might not want forever, which means now I could use it as a hair tie or even as a headband. Or, as my daughter suggests, you could put it around your doll's waist and move it to the back so it looks like a big bow. The next craft is going to be a fun little skirt that I'll be making out of mesh bags that you can get at the dollar store or any craft store. These ones here were saved specifically from packages I've received in the mail, and today they're getting a new life. I've also got a few little pom-poms, a piece of pretty tissue paper, a pair of scissors, and a threaded needle in a color that matches. So this idea here I literally just made up about 10 seconds ago, so hopefully it all works out, but in my defense, it has so far in the 2-second trial that I just did. So naturally, I have high hopes. So basically, all we're gonna do is cut off the bottom of one of the mesh pouches, as I've done already on the blue one. This was my tester. This is literally as far as I've gotten. I know, it's brilliant. So let's just do that. Next, we're going to shove the bottom of the fabric inside itself and bring it all the way up to the top so that it meets up with the ribbon, because this is a drawstring bag. And although it may be hard to see, we now have 2 layers. Next step is to fill the inside of your skirt using whatever materials you'd like. Right now, I have pom-poms and tissue paper. And the reason I'm going to go with tissue paper is because, as you can see, this is a very sheer fabric, which means we'll be able to see through to the doll's body. If your doll is wearing tights and you want it to be see-through, that's perfectly fine. You could add some pom-poms and then that would look cool. But for the sake of coming up with an option for you guys, I'm gonna try tissue paper in the white one. Once it's in, it should look something like this, except in whatever tissue paper you've chosen to use. And the reason I recommend tissue paper is because this is already gonna be bulky, so you don't wanna add too much extra to it. Now at this point, if you wanna be able to swap this out all the time, you could leave it as is and cinch it directly around your doll's waist, because it would hold up pretty nicely on its own. But if you do like what you've made and you want it to be permanent, just use a similar colored thread and stitch the 2 pieces of fabric together carefully. But make sure to avoid the ribbon, otherwise it won't be able to cinch. Okay, it's done. So as you can see, I've stitched it just underneath the ribbon, and unfortunately I didn't have white thread on hand, so mine is gray, but for now this will do. And I may be getting ahead of myself here, but I think it's gonna work. Let's pop our Barbie in and pull the drawstrings. Stay still, Barbie. Just like that. So cute. And I'm just gonna turn her over and tie the ribbon on her back. You could totally leave it on the front if you'd like, but I'm gonna go with the back. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. I love this. I'm gonna make another one. Hold on. Let's make another one. Let's make another. Let's make another. This time we'll go with the blue. So let's recap those steps. 1, cut off the end. 2, take the bottom and push it inside on itself towards the top so it meets up with the ribbon. Then fill with whatever you'd like. I'm gonna go with blue tissue paper this time. Now this is a perfect craft because it's so inexpensive, honestly. Everything that I'm using here I already have, but you can buy these mesh bags at dollar stores usually with at least 5 to 10 in a pack. Second of all, it's great for young hands because you don't have to stitch it if you don't want to. It will hold its shape, which I didn't really show off too well, but I'll make sure to do that this time. So the tissue paper is in. Now I'm gonna add some pom-poms. This is actually the reason I came up with this idea, is because I wanted to make a sack filled with gumballs. So all you'd have to do is cinch it. Ta-da! I mean, it's not the cutest. It does definitely look cleaner if you sew it, but it is definitely all contained inside itself. And this would be a perfect way to make really quick and easy props for a doll display of presents, by the way. I personally think this is super cute, and I do want to keep this one, but first I'm going to take everything out and I'm going to stick those down to the tissue paper using a glue stick. And I've also stuck down a few printed out lollipops because I want it to look like candy. I'm pretty much guaranteeing that this is going to make it really poofy, but I'm also also kind of going for that look, so it's okay if that's what happens. So I've let it dry for a second because I didn't want things to fall off as I attempt to stick it inside the layered bag. So I'm going to be extra careful and take my time. And basically, if you choose to do something like this, because you've decided this is a genius idea, by the way, it's probably going to be the most difficult step that we now have. Actually, wait, I'm going to try something. I'm going to completely flip it back out into a regular bag, and then maybe we can try putting it in a little tube and sticking it in the bag first. Hold on. Maybe. Ooh, it's working. Yes, okay. I'm not really sure how well the footage is going, but on my end it worked. And now I'm gonna stuff the bottom back inside the top. Oh, it's so cute. All right, I'm gonna quickly sew it together and we can try it on the doll. So let's take off this one. Super simple. Hey, let's make a present for the background. Okay, thought you'd never ask. And now, the new one. With all the little candies on it, so cute. Okay, so pull, and I think I'll put the bow in the front this time. Oh my gosh, tell me that is not genius. She is honestly looking so cute right now, but I think she might need one more thing. So I'm gonna take a hair dryer, an old necklace I have, 2 eye pins for jewelry making, a bit of glue, and some needle nose pliers, as well as the clutch purse she comes with, and turn it into something that she can actually use. And although it might seem like there's a lot going on here, I promise this is gonna be super easy. Basically, you just need to decide where you want your chain to hang off of the purse, and that's where you're gonna focus the hairdryer on a low setting until it's soft enough to poke holes with your eye pins. Or you may wish to speed things up by using another sharp needle-like tool. And try not to get too impatient that it's not working out quickly, because if you switch it to high heat, chances of burning yourself are far greater. I'm trying to give you the easiest method without actually having to use real tools, so it's gonna be a process. Heat, poke, heat, poke. Once you've pushed the pins into the plastic, allow it to cool completely before removing them, because otherwise, while it's still warm, it will try to go back into its previous position. Once everything is cooled down completely, and we're pretty confident the holes are not gonna try to seal themselves, we can pull out the pins, and then insert them into the tip of your glue. I don't want to get too much. Then I'm going to push it back down in the hole all the way to the bottom. And then we'll repeat on the opposite side. Pull out your pin, add some glue, and then stick it back in the hole, which you guys can't really see. But make sure you don't get your fingers if you're using super glue, and just make sure that they're facing the same direction. And while we're waiting for the glue to set up completely, we'll put this off to the side, recap our glue, and then measure out and cut the length of chain I want to use. And because I want this to look good either on one shoulder or cross body, I think I'm going to use about 8 inches because 10 would bring it down to her knees. So using some jewelry cutters, I will snip and then attach the chain and close up the eye pin. And just like that, Barbie's clutch purse has become a wearable item. And it looks great with both the items she came with and the skirts and bow that I made. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did and haven't yet, then please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future fun toy reviews. And if you enjoyed this video specifically because you like Barbies, dolls, or crafting, then be very excited because, as you now know, I have a few dolls that I am late to review, which naturally means I'm gonna have to sub in with some crafts to make it worth your while. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!